And now, has anybody got a bright idea for an atom bike?
And now for the meeting, the day which thousands of club supporters and Speedway fans have been looking forward to with eager anticipation. Sometime before the first race, they begin to trickle in, as keen a bunch of followers as you'd find anywhere. The track officials march to their places like guardsmen, with the club's mascot, young Roger Nicholson, bringing up the rear. And that's the signal for another buzz of excitement among the packed audience, now tense with expectation as the time draws near for the start of the first race. And in a moment, they'll be off. Four of the classic daredevils of the dirt track, two lions and two aces, streak off from the gates like arrows from a bow. In the lead is Tommy Price of Wembley, British individual champion of 1946, and close behind him, doughty Jack Parker, skipper of Bellevue. Here's a beautiful launch line, riders skip on. It's an all-out tussle now for the lead, but Tommy Price is holding on like the lion he is. They burst at an almost incredible angle and flash into the straight again with engines roaring in a fury of speed. There are no brakes on these demon machines. The only curb is the steel shoe on the left foot of the rider, which he uses to steady himself on the bend. It's a glad mad lick all the way. That flag means there's one more lap to go. A moment when the riders brace themselves for the final effort, and fans start to shout their heads off with excitement. Tommy Price is keeping up his form, and he's still in the lead, and swings slither around the bend. There goes the check.
So when you're ready. Sure, there's money in speedway racing. A good rider can make $5,000 a year if he gets the break.
Hello everyone, here's a nostalgic look back to the early days of Speedway at Poole. The gates opened in 1948, and this video film, which has been compiled from original cine-film provided by first promoter Cliff Brewer, will hopefully show present-day supporters what it was really like in the good old days. Then we come to the march on of the St John Ambulance Brigade, and before the action commences, we have, down on the centre green, a shot of the then Speedway manager, the late Arthur Buckley, whose son Neil has carefully preserved this historic original film. The man with the checkered flag in the beginning was, I believe, Harold Baker. Chance of riders doing any gardening here, and later on you'll see how the strip is carefully swept clean before each race. Now here's a shot to make any present-day promoter green with envy. Just look at the size of the crowd. Surely there has to be around 7,000 or 8,000 packed into the Wimborne Road Stadium in these pictures. And remember, these aren't special meetings, just ordinary league matches.
At Wembley, 70,000 of them packed in for Speedway's cup final between Wembley Lions and Manchester's Bellevue. The home team set a cracking pace with skipper Bill Kitchen and Split Waterman riding wheel to wheel to keep out Speedway champion Jack Parker. Spectators roared with excitement as, with the Lions in the lead, the last heats came up. Bellevue have won the Cup 6 times before. Wembley are the league champions. It's a tussle between Speedway's top teams. Final result, a 2-point Wembley win. Speedway's National Cup final was the highlight of
in his own exclusive element is the Speedway, the cinder circle packed with cheering fans with the call of speed and danger. But this is one dirt track where no one looks on except manager-trainer Alex Jackson, coach Dickie Case and a crew of mechanics. It's the Speedway School at Hodston Hearts, where since 1945 200 boy riders have graduated, some to earn the highest honours that the track can offer. For these boys, apprenticeship to the world's most hazardous two-wheel sport is over. Today is the big day when they're given a chance to show their paces and rarely make the cinders fly. A word of encouragement and a few last-minute hints from the old hands, and underneath those crash helmets, quick brains plan the tactics that may lead to Speedway fame. Now, throttles are open and engines roar into life. Fresh start, and here's where you learn Speedway's oldest rule: never say die, never stay down. As in a rail race, the riders get the feel of a push-off. Those 42 horsepower, thirsty, 5 miles a gallon mechanical Broncos don't know what a kickstarter is. And now they're off again, off into broadsides from which wrists of steel rest the machines into mile-a-minute sprints down the straight. It's wear cinders as youngsters fight it out for future honours on the track.
It was also a good day for the Swindon Robins on their opening day in the 1949 season at their Bloodstone Stadium. and this of course was to be very much a state occasion. Again, this was another big track, being over 400 yards in length, although this was slightly reduced in the 1960 season. Swindon Robins became National League champions in 1957, and in 1967 they won the British League Championship. Swindon's only world champion, of course, was Barry Briggs in 1964 and 1966. And this was, of course, in the great post-war boom era of Speedway, with large capacity crowds almost at every stadium.
$93,000 people crammed into Wembley Stadium to see the Sunday Dispatch World Speedway Championship. Competitors from 3 countries, America, Australia and Great Britain, took part, and there was a spill in the first race when Cliff Watson came to grief. One of the main arts of speedway racing is in the cornering. The shifting cinders make control of the machine a feat which only the most accomplished riders can achieve. There was another bad crash in the second race. Dent Oliver went down and Jack Parker couldn't quite avoid it. The 44-year-old Parker was obviously hurt, but he continued to race, and there he is, number 8. Another British rider was chalking up victory after victory. Tommy Price, number 13. The last race but one, and if Price can win this, nobody can equal him. And win it he certainly did, streaking past the field. Mrs. Attlee presented the trophy and £500. Then Tommy rode round in triumph on the local bandwagon.
Form of racing demanding different skill is Speedway. Here is the test match between England and Australasia at Odsal. Past Speedway star and one-time English captain Eric Langton chat to members of the two teams. Ronnie Moore, then World Speedway champion, the visiting team, and the English party captained by Arthur Wright, who holds the track record of 65 seconds for the Odsal circuit. Speedway is much more of a team affair nowadays than it used to be. Then, after formal introductions, with everyone lined up beautifully and paraded for the benefit of the spectators, up with the starting gate and away in a cloud of cinders. Speedway riding has changed considerably since the exciting dirt track days of improvised road racing bikes, bumpy surfaces and frequent falls. Everything seems almost too perfect nowadays, and more often than not, it's the first burst of acceleration that counts. Straight the first bend to the finish. Hold that position, don't let the brake behind get into a better line of approach, and above all, don't make a mistake.